What is up? Good morning, everybody. Today is... what is today? Today is Thursday, November the 21st, 2019. What? Um, to anybody who doesn't know, I am Fire Lotus. Thank you for joining me on this morning's Witches Live. Thank you so much. I do these lives Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., anywhere from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they go anywhere. They can go from 30 minutes to an hour to, I think yesterday's live went almost to like an hour and 20 minutes, I think. But I've been doing these since the second week of October. I was doing them on my personal profile, and then I think actually like November the 1st or 2nd, or possibly on October, on Halloween, I switched over to this. With that, I just gotta throw some things out there before I really get into this, to this morning's live. So, as you know, or if you're new to this, I've been breaking down the Halloween Oracle deck Monday through Friday. If you want, at the end of this, if you want a link to it, I can totally drop it in the comments below. With that being stated, today is going to be slightly different than anything that I've done because I got a quest. Well, I asked for suggestions on things that I should talk about and do in my lives. And I was suggested to do a book review, or some of the books that I've used and still use to this day in the craft. I was hesitant about doing it because the number one book series that I would actually suggest, I do not actually have a physical copy of. Sad face. But I have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I will be showing you 6 books today, and these are 6 books since I've got them, or since they have found their way into my life. I have not stopped using them. Now, for the people that don't know, I am not your typical witch, as in, I have probably like 4 or 5 journals, or grimoires, or shadows, or book of shadows, or whatever, however you want to say that. But all the books that I have, I've only read a few from back to front, like in one setting. But over the years, considering I've had the majority of my books for at least 10 years, for about 7 or 8, about 7 or 8 years, I've had the majority of most books that I have now. But some of these, basically, they're one of the best encyclopedias, in a way, if you will, that you could possibly have. So, yeah, I'm really excited to go into this. Yesterday, for the people that did not get to view it or see it, we went over so much stuff yesterday. Like, we went over conspiracies, we went over how the government is basically oppressing us, all at the same time. And yeah, like, it was really, really weird. I mean, it was really, really cool. Now with this, I will be doing some things over here. I am going to talk more about the, I will be also talking about, an app that I use. I'm actually going to be reading something from that app. I will also drop a link in the bio like I normally do. But yeah, so I'm really excited for this. Really, really excited. And see, I don't think I'm going to be able to do what I wanted to do today. Normally I have music playing, but I'm trying to do something different to make sure my viewers and everything are actually seeing this. And the reason that is because I do not, unless I absolutely have to, I don't want to have to pay a site, aka Facebook or Twitter, which I didn't even know you could do, and or Instagram. I do not like the idea that I have to pay them to advertise. I know a lot of people's like, well, then why the hell are you even doing this? I'm very proud. My Instagram of the stats that it's at, I got that all organically. Any other page that I have on my Facebook, because I have this one and then I have Full Circle Emporium, I got all of those organically. I didn't pay to boost the post. And for the people that do, that's perfectly fine. But right now, I'm not in a situation to where I can boost. So this is where I'm asking all of y'all a favor. If you see this, if you see any of my lives, any of my YouTube videos, and you like them, please, the only thing that I ask is to share it. Share it one time. And that's helping me get the word out. I still don't know what exactly I'm going to do with this, but I love the response that I'm getting. It's helping me. It's helping with my mental state and my mental health. And I'm also realizing that I'm also helping people. And that's honestly, at the end of the day, that's the reason I do these videos. I do these lives. The way that I view it is if you can walk away learning one new thing, or even learning a new way of looking at things from my videos, then I can go to sleep happy. Just one person. As long as I can help one person a day, I am happy. And, well, I'm using the one thing that's driving me crazy right now, which is all this technology, to hopefully get it out there, and yeah. Now with that, I do want to throw some things out there. You can always message me on this page, and you can also message me on any of my social links. I do tarot readings or oracle readings. I do not have a set price. Basically, when you come to me, I will ask, and we'll talk. I also offer spell work as well. But, with that being out of the way, yeah, I will be going over my books, the books that I actually physically have. We will also be going over the oracle card of today, that I've been breaking down alphabetically. With that being said, I wanted to go ahead and switch it to the app that I've talked about a lot before, which is Astromatrix. It's a free app. You can buy it, you can subscribe to it and actually do like a monthly subscription of it. But this app, everything that it does give you free is amazing. If you want to learn what your birth chart is or natal chart is, if you want to learn how to read them, if you want a personalized, and this is just me, this is not, for one, this is not promotional, this is just me spreading the word, and these are in my words, not that, but basically, Astromatrix, it does the one thing that I've always looked for, which is all these horoscope apps that you can download, they're not really personal. Yeah, sometimes, they can be spot on. Other times, they're like, no, not really. Okay. This right here, this gives you daily, hourly updates on what planet's going how. It also, like I said, it literally creates, once you create an account with it, again, all of it's free. Once you create an account, the only thing you will actually need, technically, you can make a birth chart without needing the exact time and moment you were born, but that's the most crucial part. So basically, you will need your location, the state that you were born in, and the exact time. Now, what that is, natal chart is basically a screenshot of the universe and the stars, the exact moment you were born. Due to that, and again, I'm still fairly learning on how everything is, so right now I know some of the basics, but basically, with you having this and learning to read it, you will be able to predict certain events in your life. So much other stuff, not to mention if you love hearing about yourself, which we all do, it breaks you down in every aspect of your personality. So again, I will post the link later on, but it's an amazing app. But with that, and so I can kind of say what's going on, as of right now, Sun is in Sagittarius, November 2019, broaden your horizon. And this is from November the 22nd until December the 22nd, 2019. I'm not really going to read all of this because it's a good 2-3 paragraphs, but I am going to read the first one. With the Sun in Sagittarius, by the way, to anybody who downloads this app, you will literally be able to get this as I'm reading it. So, but, with the Sun in Sagittarius, our focus shifts from the need for a intimate connection with the person and with ourselves to the desire to reach out to the world and connect with something larger than ourselves. Oh, that is so awesome. That is what I'm doing right now. Synchronicity. Not really. Sorry, I got excited with that. But that's cool. You may have more energy and self-confidence. I'm definitely feeling that today. You will be more... There we go. You may have more energy and self-confidence, be more honest and straightforward, outgoing, idealistic, and scrumptiously fair. Your Virgo of personality is ideal suit to sport and outdoor games of all kinds. Screw it. I'll read the next paragraph. That way, I'll read the next two if that's okay with y'all. But while the sun moves through this furious, mutable sign, we can take steps to increase our understanding and awareness of the world around us. We are more able to muster up the courage to expand our horizons and branch out into new ways of thinking. We can gain more confidence and optimism by focusing on the big picture as we move away from our focus and then the details of mundane existence. Although we may be prone to overdoing our expectations, we have the opportunity to nurture our faith, hope, and vision under the influence. There is a great love of travel and open air. Your tolerant physiology, something genius, and open-hearted outlook ensures your way in life is much eased by welcome you receive. Ensure your way in life is much eased by the welcome you receive from others. On the negative side, you may be irresponsible, biased, careless, and Capricornish with tendencies to jump to conclusions easily. That basically, and every single day that this happens, or a planet, if you have the app, every single day a planet goes out of, or moves into anything, it updates you. I've been using this app for almost a year now, or about a year now. So, and again, I'm still learning. There's also a tutorial walkthrough video to where it breaks the app down and how to use it, which is always awesome. But, with that being said, I also found another link, another page. I've posted it in the link, or it's actually on my page. And I actually found it through Twitter, but it's almost like Witchfox. I mentioned that yesterday. For the people that don't know, Witchfox is a website that has been around, I believe, since 1997. Yeah, 1997. As of December 1st, they are taking the entire site offline and retiring it. But they are archiving all of the articles and poems and all types of stuff that's on there. But basically, it was a site for pagans to basically help. It was, I believe, honestly, it was one of the first major online sites. But they're closing their doors, basically, and that's really sad because that was a group, or that was a site to help you find other groups locally in your states, because it broke down by state. But, like I said in my video yesterday, I think Facebook kind of killed that due to all the groups and stuff that they have and you can do on there. But, yeah, that's in the link. So, like I said, I will be going over books today and book reviews. Now, to anybody who knows, which everybody should know this by now, the majority of most books, which this has dramatically changed, but when I was first, when I first stepped out of the broom closet and I was trying to find as many magical books and, all that knowledge that for before it was forbidden. I was raised Southern Baptist, so anything to do with magic, spirits, talking with spirits, divinations, anything, it was demonetized, basically. So the majority of the books out there then were primarily Wiccan-based, which there's nothing wrong with Wicca, it's just not me. Nowadays, though, of course, you can find so many other books, it's insane. There are still 2 books that I have to get my hands on, and they're some of the first Southern folklore or Southern cunning magic, which I'm really excited to get those books. Anyways, and before I do this, I'm also going to do this. Sorry. I've had 2 cups of coffee and then I switched to water. Trying to hydrate. By the way, anybody, I wanted to throw this out there. This is Sage Vibrational Spray from 3 Sleepy Eyes Apothecary. You should totally check the page out. She has a Facebook page. She has an Instagram. Honestly, she is a herbal alchemist. The stuff that she does is insane. And this smell right here, I wish I could spray it and y'all smell it. It literally smells like you walked into a fairy forest or a fairy garden. And for any of my friends out there, or anybody who sees this that have dreads, synthetic or natural, you should totally check out 3 Sleepy Eyes Apothecary, because she has soap that is specifically made for dreads. What? Okay, so, with that being said, I had to spray it because I love that smell. And right now, I'm currently out of sage. So, but, like I said, I'm going to go over 6 books. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 books. Oh, sorry, 7 books. And actually, this is going to be my first one. And after this, if y'all want me to, I will totally. Hello. I will totally, like, if y'all want me to, I will look all these books up on Amazon and like post a link. But to anybody who is either just beginning, which to anybody who doesn't know, I use the term sprout. So anybody who watches this continuously, if I directly say, hey, sprout, or something like that, don't take offense to it. I don't care if you've been practicing for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. It's my terminology that I picked because I don't like when people's like, oh, you're a little baby witch. So, sprouts, you know, it's just kind of like the lotus. You start out and you grow up. Anyways, this book right here is amazing. And it is, I know I just realized that was reversed, but it is, it's brown brown. It is by Bowen Forbes, The Small Town Pagan Survival Guides, How to Thrive in Any Community. The reason I love this book so much is because it's not only, like, tips on, actually, I will look up the, here we go. This is the table of contents. You have popularity contest, making contact, the well-decorated broom closet, the discounted superstore altar. Honestly, it's so funny that said that because all of my stuff from the original altar that I got from a antique store. But yeah, inner workings, finding others, like-minded people, community building, problems like charities, begin at home, the expert speaks, afterthoughts, recommended reading, resources, and index. But what's really cool about this is the author actually, like, asked the community and they wrote in. So all through the book, you're not only reading from the author, you're actually reading pagans throughout the United States. I believe throughout the United States, possibly the world. But it's their own words of what they did and how they did it living in a small town community. Now, I don't really have that, kind of. Where I live now is still a small town, but I'm like 45 minutes away from Gainesville, so it's really big. But due to my social anxiety and all the other shit, and I'm primarily a solitary practitioner anyways, but I am in the process of creating a group. Well, I already have the group on Facebook created. I just haven't added people yet. But it's not going to be like most groups on Facebook. And I'll explain that a little bit later. But, so yes. Amazing, amazing book. And it was $19.95 when I bought it. So it could be completely, like, you know, cheaper. I don't know. But I actually believe I got this from Lunation. By the way, if anybody's in Alabama and close to Enterprise, Alabama, Lunation, perfect store. To anybody who is in Gainesville, another good store to go to is Blue Crystal. Mainly because, well, it's a good store. But yeah, there's not that really many, like, actual occult stores in Gainesville or near Gainesville. Anyways, yeah, I'll go ahead and go over the two smaller books, because all the other ones are, like, big. I love this book. Amethyst, I honestly believe if you don't have this book, I believe you would love it. Because it kind of, I don't know. You'll understand. This is the Crone's Book of Charms and Spells by Valerie Worth. And the back of it is, here shall be told the secrets of a crone, gently skilled in ways of mystery, charms, chanting spells, and ancient incantations, spiritual flights and elixirs, simmers, brews, and fresh-picked herbs, fair amulets and magical rings, and all arts of the wise. Your hands may shape from the form of magic needful to your wants out of the symphonous array of earthly substance. Is your wish to inspire passion? Increase mystical words of power on a talisman. Inscribe mystical words of power on a talisman portraying the sun in flames. Need your charm to win the moon's aid for your secret purpose? I'm not going to go on, but literally... Yes, thank you, yes, this is an amazing book. And see, I love books which... Actually, speaking of this, perfect time that I brought this out. If you are a practitioner, or if you're just curious, if you want to find a book that teaches some of the old stuff that you really can't find in most modern day books, The Goodly Spellbook. The Goodly Spellbook, Old Spells for Modern Problems. Lady Passion, High Priestess, and Divine High Priestess Coven Odwedden. And I will read it to y'all. The reason I literally... Yes! That is an amazing book. And I love the charms in it and the other recipes. But with this book, not only does this book, like... And honestly... Jess, this would be right up your alley too, honestly. Now thinking about it. Okay, so you have the contents. You have Spellcraft, the nature and ancient art of applied spirituality. And this is just part 1. It is broke down in parts. Spell work, goodly help you, your loved ones, and the planets. And then skills, which is part 2. As above, so below. The art of correspondences. Witches scry over spilt milk, the art of divination. Divine number, the magic of counting. Chants and charms, the power of words. You have secret writings, it goes over letters, hieroglyphs, there we go. Runes, music, singing, humming, and drumming magic. With this music, it actually breaks down. Actually, I'll show y'all. I'm sorry, there's so much in this book. This book goes over so much, but the reason that I like it is because, okay, for example, this. It actually teaches you, wait, hold on. Come on. There we go. It actually teaches you magic, but with music. Like, this book breaks it all down. It breaks secret languages down. It breaks how to make sigils. It breaks actual spells. But one of the main reasons, and actually my hangover tonic that I use to this day, whoop whoop, it is ancient, but it still works. That's also where I learned amethyst is known as the sobriety stone. If you are trying to sobriety, amethyst. Also, if you drink, you can actually wear amethyst to help not get you completely gone, but it'll help balance that out. But, sorry, I had a hair on my mouth. But, on top of that, it actually, this is one of the only books that I've seen, I'm not saying it is the only one, but it is one of the only ones to where even the ancient spells that they have, right under it, they have, like, things that you can alter. Just say you can't get this, or you couldn't get that. There are things that you can alter it. Literally, this book, and you can tell the stuff in it, it's the old stuff that is hard to find. Again, an incredible book. Okay, let's see, whenever the Crone's book, whenever this one. Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and go over this one. The Modern Guide to Witchcraft, Your Complete Guide to Witches, Covens, and Spells by Sky Alexandra. Let's see. I mean, for the actual sprouts, for the people that are beginning, the perfect book to go to, honestly. I mean, honestly, to any other witch, too, that the people that have been practicing, it's a good book, but it's kind of one of those... Actually, no, I was slightly going to insult it, but it's an improvement from how most craft books have been. Definitely improvement on it. But it goes over the basics. Now, the cool thing is, I will state, and you can also tell a lot of my books, even though they were written by a Wiccan, this one right here, it's not Wiccan, it's legit just witchcraft, which I love, because that transition... For all of y'all that are starting to practice now, you're so lucky, because that was a very, I want to bang my head against the wall thing, to where, like, you could only find Wiccan books. And again, I'm not hating on Wiccan, and I know I, like, say a lot about it, but there's a difference, and there's a reason that I always make that distinction. Wicca is a religion. Witchcraft is not. And again, as I'm pretty sure you've heard before, you don't have to be a witch to be a Wiccan, and you don't have to be a Wiccan to be a witch. I think I said that right. Yeah. So, but yes, I honestly love it. I just love the aesthetic of it, honestly. And it was when I worked at Lunation, and when I worked there, the majority of all of my paychecks, after I paid my bills and bought food, went back to the store, of either buying books or buying herbs, primarily herbs. Like, my ultimate goal when I was working there was to have at least an ounce of every herb that they sold. The most expensive herb that they sold when I was in there, which is about to probably blow y'all's mind, false unicorn horn. For an ounce! It was $32 for an ounce. But, anyways, actually, no. To anybody who can, if you can get the entire series with these books, totally do it. I'm still working on getting more of them, but, and again, I'm sorry for the people that are, like, OCD about books. My books have been well loved. I do have the actual piece, I just have to fix it. I've moved a lot. But the Encyclopedia of 5,000 Spells, the ultimate reference book for the magical arts. Now, it's very interesting that it states that, because that is legit what this is. If you get any of these books thinking it's going to be like a master spell book, you're wrong. Now, it does have a shit ton of recipes in it. I'm talking, there is, y'all have heard of Florida Water? BTW, Three Sleeping Eyes Apothecary, she makes it homemade, and it's blue. Naturally blue. That blew my mind. It's also amazing. But with this book, I learned that there's Florida water, there's angel water, there's devil water, there's so many other different types of magical water I didn't even know. This is also where I learned about hurricane water. You know how everybody collects rainwater and moon water? Hurricane water. It can be used as cleansing baths. They can be used in banishings. Or if you want to fuck somebody's life up, it technically, theoretically, in my head, it would work better than a vinegar jar. And to anybody who doesn't know what a vinegar jar is basically you write somebody's name down on a piece of paper. No, I do not suggest doing this unless you know what you're doing and you've thought about this. But you basically write somebody's name down on a piece of paper, stick it in a jar, and fill it up with vinegar. Apple cider or vinegar. And shake it, and you can add so much other shit in there. But basically, it completely makes their life go freaking haywire. Now, the reason I stated that is because, like I said, I'm a witch, and with that, the whole black, white, gray thing, that I don't even know. Because, come on, we live in a world where nothing is black and white. Everything is mixed. I had to think about how I said that. Anyways, yes, and they have different types of these encyclopedias. They have encyclopedias of spells. Jess, if you didn't know, they have encyclopedia. I believe they have one just based on primarily herbal magic and herbs. But it's a reference book. But there's a lot of shit in here that you didn't know. Now, with that, also, I have to state this, because the book that I'm about to show now, honestly, I actually discovered this book from the amazing, beloved, rest in peace, Tiptoe Chick Dorse from YouTube. She was the first one. She was an amazing witch. But I actually got this book when I was with my ex when we were in Florida at this, I wish I could actually find the bookstore that we found, because it wasn't necessarily strictly an occult bookstore, but it was one of those old bookstores where literally you walk in and you see nothing but books from the floor to the roof and everywhere in between. I loved it, but it was discounted, so I actually picked this up. I think it was like $15, because, yeah, when it first came out by Llewellyn's, it was $19.95. And I think I got it for like $15, or we got it for $15. But it is Silver Raven Wolf's The Ultimate Book of Shadows for the New Generation Solitary Witch, Silver Raven Wolf. It's false advertising. I'm sorry. She basically should have said that it was for references. She does break down a lot of the basics, and for anybody, if you're low on money like I am, like everybody is, and if you can get your hands on this, this will be one of the first starter books, because this book breaks down everything. I'm talking everything. Gods, goddesses, lords, ladies, angels, demons, fae, astro, wow. Astro projection. It breaks down what astro parasites are and or astro paraleeches. Nasty little fuckers. Teaches you how to see herbs, astrology. It breaks down like aloe, ritual purpose, love and spirituality, planetary / element influence, moon / water. Used when the moon is in Cancer or when the moon is in your moon sign. It breaks runes down. You have an entire category of astrology. Literally, it is broke down like this. Actually, let me see if I can get one page. Other books. Ah, there we go. This is the book of the contents. This is how it's all broke down. You have the Peaceful, the Ultimate Book, the New Generation, or New Generation Solitary Witch. Part 1, Shadows and Rituals and Mystery 1. Part 2, Shadows of Objects and Tools. Part 3, Shadows of Experiences and Purification. Part 5, Shadows of Magic and Enchantments. Part 6, Shadows of Magic of Real Life. I think that's it. Yeah, and then it has index, but this is from back to front, not counting the ad pages. It is 590 pages long. I've had this book actually about 10 years now. Yeah, about 10 years or 11. And I've never not, like, picked it up and went to it. Again, most of my books, they're all reference books. And then, of course, this one. This is actually a really, really great. I love this author, Kate West. She is actually, if you watch, or if you have seen my first introduction, how I described how I see the gods and goddesses, lords and ladies of all the religions, which is, they're basically a disco ball. It's the same energy, but depending on where you are, depending on your faith or religion, that's what little part of the disco ball you're seeing, right? I got it from her. She is Wiccan, I believe. Kate West has collected together the most essential spells. Kate West is a real... Okay, so she's the author of The Real Witch's Handbook, The Real Witch's Craft, as well as The Real Witch's Year. Oh wow, I didn't know that. But, it's by Llewellyn's, again, and it was $21.95 when it first came out. Should be able to get cheaper. Also, I'm sorry. This one that I'm talking about is The Real Witch's Book of Spells and Rituals. The one before that, I'm sorry, I didn't see your comment. The Ultimate Book of Shadows for the New Generation Solitary Witch by Silver Raven Wolf. And again, I'll make sure I post all the names and possibly links to these books. Now, for the people because I am not afraid to say this. For the people that are a budget witch, I love that word, or I love that phrase, there are also things that are called book swaps. I personally don't know any good websites, but you can try to find one. And basically what you do is if you find a book on their site, you'll contact the author and then the person who has that book, and basically you just see if y'all have books to switch and you mail it to each other. It's a cool way. I personally here soon will... Ooh, I just had an idea for a giveaway at one point in time. Actually, not a bad idea. Okay, anyways. But yeah. One of the reasons I love this book is because, for one, I love Kate West. I love the way that she articulates what she's saying across. But, one of the main reasons I was obsessed with this book, or obsessed with getting my hands on it, was actually just one spell. And they have a spell in here, or technically a ritual, and there's 2 different versions of it, but it's either A, to find members to join your coven, or B, to help you find a teacher. And with that being stated, I cannot stress this enough. If you do find a teacher, or if you want a teacher and you find it, no problem. And yep, Llewellyn's. But just because you go up under them, if at any point in time you have a teacher that is not letting you express or explain how you think and how you learn, basically, if at any point in time you have a teacher that you feel uncomfortable with, let them know. That's one of the reasons I've never really joined a coven. Well, there's multiple reasons I never joined a coven. But, now I'm not saying all covens are like this, because I do know of plenty of covens that, like, have perfect, whatever, but it's very hard. There is one other book I wanted to show y'all, but I think it would be kind of a tease, because I have not been able to find another copy of it. I will go ahead and do it, though, so I can show y'all. And it also will explain... By the way, I have other books, but those were the 6 or 7 books that, like, I could go... Actually, Jess, you may love this, too. Jess, if you haven't... And actually, April, you may like it too. And if y'all don't like me using y'all's names, just let me know. Walking the Twilight Path, a Gothic Book of the Dead. I'm going to butcher this woman's name, Michelle Blanger. She is also the author that wrote the Psychic Vampire Codex, and she also wrote the Psychic Energy Codex. She's wrote 10 times more books than that. But this particular book, especially for the people that are Gothic still at heart, she went through a lot of health problems, and she's died probably about 11 times and been brought back. But through that, she realized that having a near-death experience can actually open you up and awaken you. But, who in the hell in their right mind wants to go around looking for, that, right? She spent 10 years. This entire book, from front to back, is an actual ritual. It took her developing it. It took her 10 years to develop it. But it is a ritual that basically... It's a safe ritual that gives you a near-death... or it doesn't give you a near-death experience, but it's basically you were going through a rite of saying your very first one actually in the book. Now, with this, there are actual strict things that you, like red candles, black candles, you're supposed to keep a journal. But basically, the first one is you're giving an offering, like you clip your hair, fingernails, and that's basically supposed to symbolically symbolize you, the death of who you are and who you want to become, basically. I have not finished it. I started it, the rituals, when I was younger, and then I started the first ritual, I did eventually end it my way, but because I got this book when I was younger, and I realized that it wasn't for me at the age, if that makes any sense. And a lot of the books that I have are like that. Like, there are still regular book series, non-fictional book series, or fictional book series that I actually put off until I'm older so I can truly appreciate them. But yeah, you should totally check out this book. I think it would be right up y'all's alley. And it's also beautiful. Like, all the information that she has in here is beautiful. And if any of y'all are, Jess, because you're local, if you need to borrow any of my books or anything like that, just let me know. Yeah. So, I went over the books. I think that's all the books. Right. Oh, this one. This right here, which I'm actually going to Google this word so I do not kill it. But this book actually came in a bigger book that my pentagram, the one that I have around my neck now, actually came in. And if I remember correctly, the actual book set was called, I have it muted. It was called A Witch's Box of Protection. And basically what it had in it had this book, Book Swap. Oh yeah, I think that actually may be the site. There's a couple of different sites, but Book Swap, yeah, it's basically the site you just trade. But yes, also sorry, I got confused. Yes, if you need any books that you don't have, let me know. And if I have them, if you want to borrow one and read up on it and everything, just let me know. But yeah, with that, this right here, it's by Gilly Scargiff. Totally butchered that.
Apocrypha.
Okay. And the name of this is Apocrypha. And I actually Googled it to pronounce it right. And basically what it means is biblical or related writings not forming part of an accepted canon of scripture. Yes, that would be amazing. Do that. Message me. So the actual name to this book is not the one that. Wait, let me see if I can look up the. But I literally tried to find the book set that this came with because. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. Ha! Holy shit, I did find it. What? Oh, of course, it's in the UK. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, so it was A Witch's Box of Protection. Like I said, I could only bring it up I found the actual book, which is this, and the hardcover is $53.34. But the actual box set, apparently there's only one that's in freaking the UK. It came with this. It came with this. A solid black candle and a scroll that had different types of sigils and magical symbols throughout history. And that was supposed to be hung up on your wall to protect your house. But this book is amazing because it goes over something that seriously still should be in place today. I'll go ahead and... The contents, it goes over the story of Gable, part 1, magical meanings. It has omens, mandalas, and pinnacles, magic squares, eye of Horus, the third eye, tattoos and geese, the finch, whistling up the wind, trances, and destiny. Part 2, magical tools, sigils, ingredients, amulets, talismans, charms, witch's payment. It also goes over a witch's bottle, banishing, binding, smudgings, and then it goes to protect your home, your career, your health, your finance, your family, good fortune, and to banish negativity. It also, it's all old. This is stuff that is not mainstream, but what I found the most interesting is the witch's payment. And I so wish we lived in a point in time to where, like, you could actually, like, it could be a thing, a very easily thing. But this day and age, I understand, like, it's not really possible. But basically, and see, this is what the inside of the book looks like. And I still use some of the, I use all in here, but, the witch's payment is basically, it's how they used to do things back in the old days. Like, I'm talking 1600s. Before we had money and all that stuff, which was basically, if you came to me for spell work, for example, and I actually did a video about this, but for spell work, instead of saying, because it drives me crazy of the idea that people sell, like, say, the money jars or money spells for, like, $100 or $50. And it's contradicting itself. Like, how the hell do you expect somebody who needs money to come to you and be like, yo, give me $500 or $1,000 or $100 and I can make you filthy rich? What? So, I came up with this die, because I was like, how the hell could I do this to where it's modernized, but at the same time, it still works? Amazon. I hate Amazon as much as I hate Amazon. But Amazon's one of the online things. And basically, if you were to come to me for a spell, and say that spell, I don't know, say I had most of the ingredients, but I couldn't find something or something like that. Instead of you actually saying, or instead of me saying, okay, that'll be $200, I created a list of books. And for anybody else who sells services, you should totally do this too, because think about it. But I created a list on my Amazon of books that I need or items that I need for my craft to advance my knowledge and my work. They're mostly books, but they're also under $20, except for like 2 of them. So my idea of the witch's payment nowadays is, think about it. You do somebody's work, or you do the spell work, the charm reading or whatever, or tarot reading, and instead of just getting money, you'll get a book, or you'll get something that you've been needing to advance your craft. Why has nobody else thought of this? It's perfect, because you're even still paying taxes. You yourself are not technically, but the person who's buying it, it's going to Amazon, which I also just apparently found out Amazon doesn't really pay tax, but anyway, it's not the point. So, yes, that is my idea of the witch's payment, and I honestly believe that it should be incorporated in mainstream paganism. Because, I mean, I understand, yeah, like, we have to live. We have bills to pay, food to eat. Most of you have children to feed, and I understand that. But at the same time, that's what the witch's payment was. It was basically, okay, well, I need say back in the day, I need some wheat and a few eggs. Well, okay, the person who came to me who needs this work done, they have what I just said. So they trade it for me. What do I give back to them? Their spell. And it dawned on me, and I'm like, wait, that's an awesome idea, because I was like, because right now in my craft, I'm in, with the craft growth, I'm in kind of like a stud, as in all the direction that I want to go with my craft now, I have to get the right books. Because, I mean, yeah, I don't like sitting in front of a computer screen for like 4 or 5 hours trying to read a book. That, and I guess it's just me. I know there are other people out there like this too, but I've tried a Kindle. I used to have a Kindle. Yes, we should totally talk about that. Yes, I didn't know if you would, because, like, I know a lot of people, I brought it up to other people, and they're like, well, I have to make money, and I'm like, I understand that, but at the same time, in order to get a community of actual community, you have to work together, and like you said, trade and bargain. And I was like, it shook my foundation when I thought about that, because I'm like, oh my god, that's the most simplest thing, and it helps out everybody. And see, and it's just, so yeah, and I've actually done that. I have a list on, my Amazon, but, yes, we should totally do that. But, most people need to, like, I'm sorry, we're not even gonna go into that, because that's gonna, like, start an entire thing with, but yeah, I can't read a Kindle book. Actually, The Rules of Magic was one of the only books that I actually fully, from front to back, read digitally. I have to have something in my hands, and the smell of a fresh new book or the smell of an old book, it's just heaven to me. Yes, exactly. With trading and bargaining, it all has to be discussed to make sure everybody is getting an equal exchange of energy. Exactly. And somehow benefit from it. Exactly. And like I said, I know this is not going to be for everybody, but I was just like, it's one thing to bring us closer together, or to bring the community closer together. Now normally, as I've done in my other lives, normally I would talk about, like, craft or the stuff that I've learned about movies and stuff. I did that yesterday. There's not really much out there of the craft. I found one Instagram page, and I think the person who's uploading them is either A, they live right next to where they're filming, or B, they actually work for them, because these are all behind the scenes. Yesterday I posted a Instagram post here on Fire Lotus of what looked like to be the scene in the Craft movie where they were, I think it was doing their first major spell, where they were up under the tree and the butterflies came down. It looked like they were reshooting that. So it got me super excited. Like, I'm really super excited. Now I am about to go over the card in a minute, but I did want to state that here very soon, because I originally talked about a giveaway, and due to certain sites not working the way that I thought they were, that hasn't happened yet. But I talked to Jane. I've talked to my partner, and the main reason I didn't want to do it was because of the whole me getting to a post office and actually mailing the stuff off. So, here, hopefully, it will probably be in February. I'm aiming for February for a giveaway. And, hello, sorry about that. Hold on, I have to message somebody who just tried calling me. But, hold on. Yes, I will be doing a giveaway, sometime in February. It is going to be at least 1 to 2 things that I will specifically be making for the person who wins it. Really? Did you really just ask that? But, I will be making 2 custom items. For example, like this, mojo bags or spell bags that I have that I've shown before. And then, if not that, I want to go through some of my actual craft stuff and possibly pass it on. I don't know though yet. That's still in the works. Like I said, I still have, I've got to talk to people about interviewing them and everything, but like right now, I've been focusing, outside of my lives, I've been focusing on the agoraphobia and me getting past it. I have been making some progress, as in the past 2 days, I've actually been able to walk on my property in the daytime. Hello. But, so yeah, and then next week, I will actually, Monday through Thursday, I will hopefully be going into town and kind of hanging out at a location for a few hours, just so I can get used to leaving my house and not completely freaking the fuck out. But, that all takes process, so. But yeah, I'm gonna do a giveaway, And yeah. I have so many ideas and so many things that I want to do, and I'm just still trying to articulate it. But now the plans that I talked about yesterday as a special guest, I cannot go into detail on here at all due to the fact that this is live, so anybody who can stumble on Facebook can find it, or YouTube. But if everything goes according to plan as it's working right now, and the universe looks like it's backing this idea, I will be having a very, very special guest join me sometime in December, and hopefully after that it won't just be a visit, but it'll be a more permanent thing. So, and with that, if that happens, it does, but I don't really want to talk about it right now, if that's okay. All of the designs that you see on my face, they all mean something at one point in time. But yes, I don't just like go around marking stuff. They do mean some things. They're just really kind of personal. And it has to do with, I called it, I think in one of my things, anxiety paint or warrior paint. That's how I'm kind of using it. And also, I started this kind of like morning time ritual. I saw it on a video of this woman who suffered from some traumatic things, and she was like, well, actually, witchcraft helped me because it helped me, the ritual aspect of it. And I was like, well, wait, I'm a witch too. So, I actually get up at 6 in the morning, and I actually have like a step-by-step ritual that I go through with my lives. And this right here, I'm not going to say what each individual thing means, but the random looks that I do with my eyes, it's my way of kind of, you don't have to apologize, it's completely okay. It's my way of kind of like pushing through or putting a glamour on for myself, as in when I put this makeup on, it kind of puts me in that mental zone of, okay, you're about to go live, your anxiety's not going to kick in, your, anxiety thoughts, you're self-conscious, none of that's going to kick in, or not self-conscious, self-esteem issues, none of that's going to kick in. So it's kind of like ritual paint in a way, I guess. But yes, they do all mean something. Now with that, because I think I've been babbling on, I will go over the card, because I know some people love hearing them, if I can not. Wow. So, and I actually figured it out. Today is the 21st card in the deck. We have been breaking these down alphabetically from the very first one to this one. I stated it yesterday, but I will actually post this right after I do this live. I will post a poll to the next deck we break down to see if we're going to break down the Green Witch Tarot, or if we're going to break down this gorgeous, gorgeous deck of the Spirit Wheel. And that's an Oracle deck. So it's going to be between this one or the Tarot deck. Now, take in mind, if I do the Tarot deck, that's like 80-something cards. So that's going to be an investment. But, yes, anyways. Today's card is the Owl. Wise seeking and wise action. Silent, winged, and wise, all-seeing creatures of the night, show me the way, I will follow you in flight. By the way, I forgot to say it, if you do have this deck, or if you get this deck and you lose the booklet, there is an app in the App Store that you can download. It's not free, but it's like $2, and you can have it on anything. I currently have this one app on 4 devices. And it has the entire book. You can also do readings. You can also do tarot readings in the app and actually save them or email them to people. I will follow you in flight. Owls have for thousands of years been part of folklore and have been considered a special or sacred animal. With their huge, special, sacred, and I'm adding this too, it's also been linked, depending on the culture you look at, as also it can be seen as a bad omen. I'll explain that after this. Owls for thousands of years have been part of folklore and have been considered special or sacred animals. With their huge forward-facing eyes and otherworldly appearance, they have been seen as both wise and as harbingers of the supernatural. There are many hundreds of species of owls, and almost all are nocturnal and carnivores, Interestingly, they all have specifically designed feathers that enable them to fly silently at night, giving them an incredible hunting advantage, sort of like having a stealth mode. Many deities, I don't know why I keep saying deities. Many deities were said to be able to change into owls, and perhaps the most famous was the Greek goddess Athena, who was famous for her her strategy and intelligence. To this very day, the capital of Greece, Athena, capital city of Greece, Athena, has Athena's owl as its symbol. Athena's owl as its symbol. Should the hooting owl come looking for you this Halloween, it indicates the need for wise counsel or further information before you make a decision. Consider action is warned. Think before you act emotionally and ensure you think strategically, not impulsively. That is actually insane that this particular card is that, because like I read earlier off the Astromatrix app, tomorrow, the sun moves into the Sagittarius, and the negative aspect of that, or something to look out for, on the negative side, you may be irresponsibly belligerent, biased, careless, Capricornish, with a tendency to jump to conclusions easily. So that's perfect right there. Basically, wise seeking, wise action. Basically, before you react to something. Yeah, I have one right there too. Yesterday I actually had the entire ear done. But, wise action, wise seeking. Basically, with any situation today, instead of you going or responding, especially if it is an altercation of some type, instead of responding with your emotions, try to stop yourself or take yourself out of the equation and think about it. And actually, think about everything before you actually state it. With owls, and I'm going to do something I normally don't do, but I feel like calling to, which is weird. I'm going to look up the owl spiritual meaning. Our, animal totem. Oh. Hello. Oh, I'm losing my mind. I can't find things. Oh my god. Oh, there we go. The owl spirit animal represents the deep connection that you share with wisdom, good judgment, and knowledge. Like the owl, which is known for the sharp vision and keen observance, you also possess the insight and intuition. The owl totem also means that you can see beyond the mask. Now, with the omen, because I originally believed for so long, and I was told that an omen, or an owl, hearing an owl in the daytime was bad luck. That's actually strands from a Native American belief that if you hear an owl or if you see an owl in the daytime, it's bad luck. When it comes to omens, and then when it comes to interpreting stuff, you hear some people will tell you, not everything you experience or hear in magic or after a ritual, basically, it's not necessarily that divine timing or that divine. Yes and no to that, because, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm also looking for something. Oh, it's in my back pocket. But, no, it's not. Alrighty then. Anyways, I've had a lot of people say, not everything you see is an omen or is the god and goddess talking to you. For one, how the fuck do they know? You have to think about that. Think about that. Because I'm one of them. I'm very in tuned. And I have multiple times, I've seen something like an animal show itself, and something right after that, negative or bad, has happened. True enough, that also could be our brains just trying to associate stuff together. But with me, if I go outside and give an offering, like I try to do as much as I can. But for example, yesterday when I did it, it's the first time I did it probably since Halloween actually. But the wind was not really blowing here yesterday at this point in time. And as soon as I cooked like little pancake, not important, but I cooked something and halved it and then a cup of coffee, because normally in the morning time, if I leave an offering, I'll leave coffee. Mainly because my nanny and everybody, they loved coffee. Anyways, right after I did it and I was starting to walk inside, the wind picked up out of nowhere and it like circled around me. And to me, to a normal person, that would just be the wind blowing. But to me, that was, that was the ancestors in the universe saying, hey, we heard you. Thank you. And small things like that can be omens to you. Do not if you experience something that you take as a sign from the divine or God and Goddess, and you go tell somebody, and they're like, no, stop them in their tracks. Just walk away, because that's damaging your spirituality right there. If you are surrounded by people that do not take your spirituality serious, you need to help find somebody, at least one person that you can message all the time to and just talk. I saw in a email that was emailed to me yesterday actually, and this was actually a really cool idea. This kind of goes with that, I guess. But it's 11:11. It's called the tweet, and not our chirp. The chirp text, which is basically for the people who have depression or the people that go through things and kind of, pull away. Instead of, because with me, somebody texting me or me having to call somebody, depending on who it is and depending on how I am that day, it gives me anxiety. Somebody texting me and me waiting on their response gives me anxiety. So, this woman who wrote the article and her friend came up with this ingenious but simple way to communicate, which was the chirp. Instead of having to send a full-on text message, hey, I'm doing okay, da 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 da, you literally just send a chirp. And that's basically, I send you a chirp, you send me a chirp back. That basically means, you're okay. Or it could be a chirp with like 2 chirps or something like that. Basically, it's a way that you can check on your friends without having to because I know how it's like when you get depressed and stuff like that, reaching out to somebody, it sounds very easy, but it's not. It can take everything in you just to do that. So just chirp. And for anybody who sees these videos, I don't care if you know me, I don't care if I know you. If you ever need somebody to talk to or vent to, shoot me a message or an inbox on any of my platforms. I may not respond right then and there, but I will respond. I myself have my lows and my highs. So there have been months and almost years where I literally cut communication with everybody. And I'm sorry. Don't take it personal. But, that's just kind of me. I get in my head, and then my head turns my own world against me, and yeah. But I'm working on that. But, anyways, now I did actually want to state something with this tarot deck, and then I'm going to briefly talk about something else, and then I'll probably cut it short. I've noticed going in over these apps, and I'm hoping it's just me, but I don't know. I noticed something about this Oracle deck that I don't know how I feel about. But, yesterday, me and my partner were talking, and, because, hopefully this weekend I will be brushing up my color. Now, I don't know if I'm going to go back red or what. I may actually post, see what y'all think I should do. But, I don't want to cut it. I've been growing my hair out. I know y'all can't really tell because it's broken. I've had, like, split ends and stuff. But I've been growing my hair out for, actually, wow, almost 2 years now. And the reason that was, originally, and I still intend to, originally I'm growing it out to have it braided, and then eventually I'm giving myself dreads. But before I do that, and while I was doing it out, this article popped in. I don't know where it was. I will try to find it if y'all would like to. But basically, it was about long hair, or it was about hair. I did not know that our hair can actually physically carry emotions. Not as in, like, I can rip a piece of hair out and look down into it and, like, I can see a memory, but due to the fact that if you go through a stressful or traumatic experience, the chemicals that are released in your head, also go to your hair. So, literally, the reason, say, for example, in movies, it's primarily women. It's not always women, but what I'm talking about is primarily women in the movies, where they go through something very, very traumatic, and you see the next scene where they're shaving their entire heads. And to anybody who has grown their hair out and then you've cut your hair, it literally feels like you just got baptized and you feel completely new. That is literally because our hair holds on to those memories. It holds on to that energy. And I thought about that, and when I was talking to my partner last night, I said, no, I said, my hair is not dreads are not the only reason I grow my hair out. With everything that I went through, see, I never knew that. It's insane that I never actually knew that. But I looked at him and I was like, I don't want to cut my hair. He looked at me and he goes, for the dreads? And I said, no. I said, 2018 almost killed me. Like, legit, I thought it was the year that was going to either kill me or land me in a psych ward. But I survived. And as much as it drives me crazy, because normally I'm that type of person to where if I feel like I've lost control of my life or anything like that, my hair is my go-to. That's why I've always changed my hair, because I've had a lot of incidences where I've had my own control ripped out of my hands. So my hair is the one damn thing I can control. I can control the length, the color, everything. And then it was also, when I moved in with my grandmother, my hair was not this long. It was almost that long. It was probably to about right there. It was about right there. It was long enough to where if I pulled it back, I could put it in a ponytail. And with my grandmother, she was old school. And I respected that. There was a point in time where I couldn't even wear this around her. But when I lived with her, she got used to it. But I'll never forget this day, ever. And I hope when I have kids, I would be able to tell them this. For the very first time, because over the years, as I've gotten older, I've been expressing and trying to figure out who I am. And through that, I've been wearing more makeup and what most people would consider more feminine are what backwards ass world we live in would be like basically non-masculine. But anyways, I put my hair up without realizing it for the first time, and she stopped. And she looked in the mirror and she goes, why don't you always do that? She goes, that looks really, really good on you. And I was like, really? And she goes, yeah. And it's not the compliment. It was the fact that even though what I was doing was technically to her, it was unnormal, she loved it because she also saw what it did to me and what it did to my confidence. So in that moment, I was like, you know what? And then after she passed away and I actually made it back here to Florida, because when I first moved to Alabama last year, I wasn't actually planning on coming back. For anybody who didn't know that, yeah, I was not actually planning on coming back. My full purpose was to actually stay there. But if you follow me on Instagram, you can tell that didn't last long. But I realized that every single day that I woke up, my hair is a reminder. It's almost like a tattoo or a scar. It's a reminder of how far you've come. All the shit that life has thrown at you, you were still here. And I have to remind myself like that sometimes, because I do get a wild hair at my ass, and I do just want to, like, chop it all off. But, I realized, and I'm like, holy shit. And then that's when I realized that, like you said, Jess, well, I didn't know that about the Mystics, but I know Cherokees and Native Americans, that's one of the reasons they grow their hair out. It's supposed to be like, look how far I've come. And I love it. The only thing that is driving me crazy right now is the dye that I used the last time I dyed my hair has basically fried, like about that much. So all of that right there is dead ends, but I'm not cutting it off. I do trim it every now and then. Sorry for that random rant about hair. But yeah, that I think that's gonna be it for today. I went over everything I wanted to, even the hair. Yeah. Thank you everybody so much for tuning in, for commenting, for liking. And again, if you haven't tuned in or if you see this later on, if you do see this, please share it somehow, because I'm not in the place in my life right now, and I don't really want to, where I have to pay somebody to boost my stuff. So, trying to do this all organically. Oh, wow, I understand that now. See, I've seen one post. There was one video that was circulating on Facebook, and he was a high schooler, and he was wrestling. And the coach made him cut his dreads off. And, because, see, I knew in some cultures, like, I want to say African. I'm not going to say that, but like you said, in some of them, that their hair was their thing. And I never actually put it into perspective of that, of why. Which, I mean, I've seen the movement of, with natural hair, natural ethnic hair, of how more people are going back to their natural look. Random fact, when I get my cosmetology license, when I start going to school and everything, I will actually be specializing in ethnic hair, because to me, it fascinates me. And I hope that didn't come off as insulting at all, because it wasn't supposed to be. But, yeah. But, yes, like I said, thank y'all, everybody, for, joining me on these morning lives. This will be uploaded to Facebook shortly after this, of course. But, yes, thank you, everybody, for sharing, and liking, and commenting. You don't understand, it means the world to me. It means that I'm actually doing stuff. I'm helping people. So yeah, I'm going to be posting this on YouTube, and then, after my YouTube, I may actually post another YouTube video. I'm still confused with my YouTubes. I don't know if I'm just going to, my YouTube page is just going to be these lives, these morning lives, and I'm just going to keep doing that, or what, I don't know. But, yes, after this, on this live, I will go back and post a link to all the books. I will also post a link to, the Astromatrix app, and the other, page. Yeah, I'm seeing that now, and it actually, like, thinking about that, it pissed me off, because, like, I'd never put that into perspective, and I guess it is because of, I hate to say it because I'm white, I never had to, but that's why I love doing these videos, is I love putting myself in other people's perspective, like you just said. I'd never really thought about that. I've heard about it, but it never, like, fully kicked into my head until you just said that. And, like, God, humans are some really fucked up people sometimes, but at the exact same time, they can be really, really great. But, yes, thank you, everybody, so much. New things next year will be coming. I'm working on it slowly but surely. But, yes, thank you all. Have a great morning, noon, night, afternoon. I don't know your life. Again, I don't know if you're coming home or leaving work. Anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic, magical Thursday. Peace.